Hi, I'm Stephanie Jaworski of JoyBaking.com. Today we're going to make focaccia, and this is what it looks like. This is an Italian flatbread scented with olive oil, warm from the oven. It has a crisp outside crust, yet inside it is a soft and tender crumb with a moist and dense texture. Focaccia is instantly recognizable because it has this dimpled top. And before we put it in the oven, we're going to brush it with olive oil and sprinkle it with some freshly grated Parmesan cheese and fresh rosemary. So to make this bread, if you have a stand mixer like I have here, you want to use your dough hook, or you can make it by hand, just mix it together and then knead it by hand. So the first thing that you will need is 1 3/4 cups, which is 420 milliliters or 420 grams of, I'm using cold filtered water. Put that right in there, along with, now we're going to put olive oil both in the bread dough and on top. So it's just it gives this wonderful moist texture. So you will need 5 tablespoons, 50 grams. I'm just using a light olive oil. And then for our dry ingredients, I have here 4 cups, which is 520 grams of unbleached bread flour. The bread flour gives us a nice chew to our bread. And I'm also going to add 1 cup, 130 grams of unbleached, just regular all-purpose plain flour. That's going to give us a little bit of soft and tender crumb. I'm adding 1 teaspoon, 3 grams of SAF red instant yeast. I like to use the instant yeast. I don't have to proof it. I just dump it right in with my dry ingredients. Now you could use an equal amount of active dry yeast, but just take about 1/4 cup, like 60 milliliters, 60 grams of your water from your recipe. Heat it to lukewarm, stir your yeast in there, let it proof about 5 minutes or until it starts to get a little foamy. And then you will need 2 teaspoons, 8 grams. I'm using a fine kosher salt. And then besides on top, I'm also adding 1/4 cup, 25 grams of finely grated Parmesan cheese to our bread dough. It gives just a little hint of that cheese flavor, which I like. I'm just going to dump all this in here. Okay, and then put my dough hook. Now I'm going to knead this dough I find about 9 minutes on first speed. What you are looking for is a really soft, elastic, and it's quite sticky. So I'm going to say about 8-9 minutes on first speed. Okay, we are done. That was about 9 minutes. My mixer. So it's wonderfully smooth and it's quite sticky. That's how it's supposed to be. So I'll just get that off as best as I can. So then what you need is a large bowl. I'm going to oil the bowl so the dough doesn't stick. You could use your olive oil, or I'm just using a flavorless oil, like you could use vegetable, corn, canola, something like that. So I just pour a little in and then just take a paper towel. You could just use a pastry brush and brush the inside, but I'm just going to use paper towel. Okay, and then let's put that on there. So you can see, oh, a little sticky. Don't worry, that's how it's supposed to be. So get it as best as you can. And then, once you have it in the bowl, just take it and flip it so that you have a light coating of oil on top. And then, I don't want to waste. There we go. And then cover it with plastic wrap. Now we're going to let this proof for 1 hour at room temperature, and then we're going to stretch the dough. So room temperature is about, say, 74 degrees Fahrenheit, 23 degrees Celsius. If your kitchen is really cold, what I like to do is put it in my oven that's not turned on. Just turn the oven light on, and for maybe 10-15 minutes, it'll get nice and warm in there, and then let it proof for 1 hour, and then we're going to stretch our dough. So it's been about an hour, so we're going to stretch our dough. We do this for a couple of reasons. One, it equalizes the temperature, and two, it strengthens our dough. So then what you do, just pull it, stretch it, turn it your bowl, and that's 90 degrees, and then stretch it, and then stretch it. So you just go around and stretch it, and then what I'm going to do is flip it over like that. Pretty simple. And then what we're going to do, put the plastic wrap back on, and we're going to proof it for 1 more hour. So now I proofed it for the 2nd hour, so that's 2 hours total. Now before we carry on, I must clarify on the stretching of the dough, because I don't want tons of comments. When you stretch the dough, you stretch it, and then you turn your bowl. I think I said 90 degrees. It is 180. And then stretch it again, and then 90 degrees. Stretch, and then 180. Just so there's clarification there. So now, as you can see, your dough doesn't like double in size. We didn't use a lot of that much yeast, so it will get soft and puffy, but it won't double in size. So you will need now a 10 by 15 inch baking pan that's 25 by 35 centimeters. And then we want to really oil our pan so that our dough does not stick. So use olive oil. Now when you're doing this, be generous. And you can just use your hands. I'm just using a pastry brush so I don't get oily hands. Okay, that looks good. And then take your, here's my scraper. If you don't have one of these plastic scrapers, they are great for for just about everything with dough. So I'm putting it top side down. And then I'm just using my hands to stretch it out. If you find, it really is elastic and it keeps springing back, you can let your dough sit for a couple minutes, let it relax, and then carry on with stretching. You could flour your hands a little if you find the dough overly sticky. So just get it. Fill the pan. That looks good. Let's make sure it's even in thickness. Do you see? Like spring back. That looks good. So now I'm just going to take my plastic wrap, and you can lightly oil it, or I'm just spraying it with one of these non-stick sprays, just so that when I cover it, it doesn't stick to the dough. And I'm just going to just loosely cover it. And we're going to let it proof for about an hour and a quarter, until it's nice and soft and puffy. So we'll see you back in an hour. So I let the bread proof for about an hour, so now we are ready to bake it off. So first, preheat your oven to 425 degrees Fahrenheit, which is 220 degrees Celsius. Now, focaccia is instantly recognized by, it has a dimpled top, so the first thing we need to do is to essentially poke holes into our bread. It's a little sticky, so what I like to do is just lightly oil my fingers. And then what you want to do is space your holes about 2 inches apart, 5 centimeters, and you want to press all the way down into the bread. Okay, let's go over them just to make sure. And then you have to generously, and I mean generously, either drizzle or brush the top of the bread with olive oil. I'm using extra virgin olive oil. By generous, I mean at least 2 tablespoons, 20 grams, maybe to 3 tablespoons, 30 grams. And the reason we need to put olive oil on the top of the bread is for a few reasons. One, it adds a wonderful flavor, a moist texture, and more importantly, it turns the bread a beautiful golden brown, and the crust is nice and crisp. So you've got to have enough olive oil to get that nice crisp outside crust. So I like to brush, or you could just drizzle your olive oil over the top. Okay, that looks good. So now, if you wanted to, you could just bake it off like this, maybe with a little sea salt on top, but you can really get creative with your toppings. Today, what I'm going to do is I'm going to sprinkle the top with about 1/3 of a cup, 35 grams of freshly grated Parmesan cheese. I like the flavor, and it nicely browns the top of the bread as well. You can see I like Parmesan cheese. And then, besides that, I'm also going to sprinkle on some fresh rosemary. Oh, the rosemary with the Parmesan. This is about a tablespoon, or like, really, you can put as much or as little as you want. I don't know whether I didn't measure this. This is like 1 sprig of rosemary. So other toppings, you could, some roasted vegetables. You could saute some onions, put that on top. You could use some olives, cherry tomatoes, some seeds like sesame seeds, really. Get creative. So there, we are ready to bake it off. Now, everyone's oven is a little different. I would say somewhere between 22 and 26 minutes. I do like to rotate my baking pan front to back for even baking about halfway through. So what you're looking for is a beautiful golden brown crust, really on the top and the bottom. So I'm going to say somewhere 22 to 26 minutes. Doesn't our focaccia look gorgeous? So put your pan on a wire rack, and it smells so good in here. You have the rosemary, the cheese. So now, so this is what you want, a beautiful golden brown crust. I am going to let this cool a few minutes, and then we'll take it out of the pan. So now, to take our focaccia out of the pan, if you have a large spatula here, just go around the outside, make sure it's not sticking, and then also kind of make sure it's not sticking to the bottom of the pan. And then, let's see if I can. there we go. Oh, sorry. So now I'm just going to let this cool a few minutes, and then we will come back and we will try a slice. Focaccia is a bread that's at its best the day it's made, and it is especially good warm from the oven. That's when the crust is really nice and crisp. So just let me, oh, see that? Wonderfully soft inside. And see the bottom? Nice and brown, that's what you're looking for. Now you can see this is quite thick, and you can make, if you prefer your flatbread thinner, you can do that. The reason I like it like this is I like to use it for sandwiches. Just cut it in half. Wonderful sandwiches. Oh. Or I just like to eat it right like this. Oh. That crust, I know it's a lot of olive oil, but it makes it so crisp. And then I like the cheese. I can really taste the Parmesan with a little hint of the rosemary. And inside, it is so soft and tender and moist. Oh, it's a wonderful bread. Like I said, you can use all different types of toppings that you want, roasted vegetables, or just sometimes just put a little your olive oil and then a sprinkling of sea salt, and that's enough. You could dip it into tomato sauce or something. It's just endless. It's a great bread, and you must try it. And until next time, I'm Stephanie Jaworski of JoyaBaking.com.